Hello. Yes, to toy or not to toy? That is the question. Are you going to be using those sex toys in your relationship? Will you be enhancing each other's pleasure, or is it something that is taboo for you and your spouse? Let's talk about more on that in this video. So remember to subscribe.
Yes, to toy or not to toy. We are Vito and Linda Patrick. We are here in Freeport, Grand Bahama in the Bahamas. And we want to welcome you to Unique Couples After Dark.
Yes, after dark. Okay.
Yes, and we're going to be in for a great time on this short, candid conversation as we talk about to toy or not to toy.
That is indeed the question. Maybe every married couple would have thought of, or might actually think of discussing, or probably shy away from. Okay, are you going to use these various things in your relationship? Like some people call it sex toys. We call it marital aids, or they could be called the other word for it now. Yes, those enhancers. Yes, enhancement toys. So sex toys, marital aids, enhancement toys. There are different names for it. One myth before we actually get in, we have to dispel this one myth about sex toys. Okay, I think we'll come back with that demythifying that sex toy myth. So stay tuned in and you'll hear more about that. And guess what? Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to join our Unique Couples Marriage Club. It is motivation, inspiration, and more for your marriage. So we go deep dive in there, and we have a special treat for you at the end as well. So stay tuned in as we discuss to toy or not to toy. That is the question. Yes, those sex toys in marriage.
Yes, and before we dive into our conversation, we just want to thank our sponsors for making it possible for us to be here tonight. And we want to thank Style Me Pretty. You know, we want to get the hair styles for all of the little girls at Style Me Pretty, Shadra. You want to call her at 242-441-7977. And we'd also like to thank Hair to Please. Yes, you want to get all of your weaves, all of your frontals, all of that. You want to contact Doris at Hair to Please, 242-351-1962. And then we also want to thank the Nail Lab Creations for sponsoring us tonight. You want to get those manicures, those pedicures, you want to contact Anna at the Nail Lab Creations. You want to contact her at 242-439-0523. So we want to thank our sponsors for sponsoring the program this evening as we talk about to toy or not to toy. So this is one sizzling September you must be a part of.
Okay, so when we look at some of the questions that people would have, okay, as it relates to whether or not you bring these items into your bedroom, okay, how do you bring up the conversation? Does the wife do it? Does the husband do it? Are you afraid to do it? What does that feel like? Okay. Are you having that conversation, or are you holding back? Are you thinking that maybe it's unholy and shouldn't be a part of your relationship? How do you make the selection? All of those things you have to definitely consider. And then one big major question would be, are you wrong for including those items in the bedroom? Okay, so I think we're ready for that myth. Okay, so one sex toy myth that needs to be straightened out is that, so a lot of people may feel this way, especially men. They may feel like, you know what, your partner, you might feel as if your partner isn't good in bed, So that is why you need a sex toy. And that is a myth. Using a sex toy doesn't have anything to do with whether your spouse is good in bed or not. So let's demystify that, change that, turn that around, and let's look at some sex toys.
Yes, and just to elaborate on that a little more, a sex toy is for pleasure enhancement. It is not a partner replacement.
Mhm.
So you are not replacing your partner. No, it is sexual enhancement. So we have to make sure that you know that's very important.
Yes.
So sex educator Lisa Finn noted, good sex is rooted in communication, and you want to make sure that everyone is enthusiastically on board with every step.
Yep.
So a key
Definitely.
word that is mentioned there is communication. So one of the things you mentioned earlier was who is going to bring up the sex toy? You know, who's
That
going to
conversation.
start the
Who's gonna?
conversation? So obviously communication is vital. Communication is very important.
Definitely. So when we look at the different types of sex enhancers, there are some general categories. And when we say and we talk about sex toys loosely, it could fit in any of these categories. Guess what? I believe some of you are using sex toys and aren't even aware that it falls in one of these categories. So the categories are number one, bedroom games. Yes. Any little toys and bedroom games where you have to spin something or read a card or do some sort of activity like that. It could be a board game that involves you and your partner in the bedroom. Yes, those are a part of this definition of sex toys.
Yes.
So bedroom games. Number
Number
two,
two, playful flavors.
flavors. Yes, you're going to spray something on or
The oil.
yes, and you use those and you enhance whatever part of the body. Yes, playful flavor. So even when you're using your whipped cream, that's a part of this sex toy. Okay, playful flavors, using all of those flavors and using all of that, body whips and creams and all of that would come in there. Okay, number three. Yes. Position aids, that is furniture or something that you use to kind of prop you up. Okay, so it could be a pillow, it could be there's a sex tool, or you could have a tool in your bedroom or something like that to help. And some people even use a chair, but hey, if it's just for that purpose, okay? So yes, position aids are also a part of this definition that you could use or have been using and not realizing that you're using enhancers. So as you can see, we are still keeping it safe in our marriage.
Yes.
And number four,
clothing.
Yes.
Specialty items.
Yes. So those specialty items, you want to come and maybe you come and you dress and say you will be a
strip dancer.
Okay, so whatever it is, okay. So if you're gonna be there, you're gonna come masked, you're gonna put your mask on, or you are acting out a profession or something like that, but it's specialty clothes that you don't normally wear, and it's a little up above your lingerie, but lingerie is included in that as well. Yes. All of these are a part of your enhancement for your relationship. Yes. So when you're looking at these sex toys now, hello. There are things that you need to consider. Okay? There are things that you need to consider. Hello, thanks for joining us. Make sure you share this video. Let someone know, hey, send it to them in their email. Okay? Yeah, so these are things to take in account if you are choosing sex toy. Before we forget, we have to remind you that if you want to know more and you want to get more into this conversation and learn more about how you can enhance your relationship as a couple, as a married couple, and still be comfortable and feel as if you are, safe and you're not defying or just going against, something that is holy or sacred. Please be sure to join us for our Sex is Everything.
Yes, that's going to be on Monday, August the 4th. You don't want to miss it.
Yes, our sex is
Sex
everything.
is everything.
Date night webinar. You do not want to miss it. Okay, so you register to be a part of that Sex is Everything. Message us, let us know, reserve your spot. Yes, there is a fee included. You will see the link in the description. So be a part of the Sex is Everything. And we go into everything related to sex and enhancing your relationship. So be a part of that. So we were talking about make sure these things are included in your selection, like when you're deciding on.
When you want to get it, sex toys.
Yes. Okay. So remember now, you both are giving and receiving pleasure. It's not all about I want all the pleasure and it's all about me. No, or he's thinking about all the things that can enhance his pleasure or bring him pleasure and leave me out of it. So it's about the husband and wife thinking about, what would help both of them, what would give pleasure, because sex is not selfish. Okay, sex is not selfish. It is giving and receiving. Okay, so yes, you have to be prepared to give and receive. Some people are afraid to receive. You have to be able to receive that pleasure and let it come, let it flow out and through you. Okay, yes. So, so these are things that you need to consider. Number one, there should be.
You want to talk about it.
Mutual consent.
Yes.
Mutual consent is needed. Okay. Okay. So before you get into making sure that you choose the correct item, like you said, we have to talk about it. So follow these 5 steps.
Yeah.
Okay. So follow these 5 steps. Of course, mutual consent. We'll get into that. Follow these 5 steps.
Yeah. So you want to talk about it. You want to talk about what toys you're going to choose.
Okay. So that's number one.
Number one. Then number 2, you want to decide which one you're going to do. Number 3, you want to try. You want to try it. Number 4, evaluate. So after you try it, you want to evaluate it. You want to talk about it. That's very important. And then number 5, you want to repeat it.
Yeah, repeat the whole process.
Yeah.
So that's the 5-step process when you are going to choose your sex toys. Yeah. Whether it is simple things like lingerie and enhancement, or sex games, or
furniture,
lubricants, or flavors. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So you decide on those 5 steps. What were they again?
Talk, decide, try, evaluate, repeat.
Okay. Yes. So once you've done that, you need to make sure these are included. And this where you definitely have to have mutual consent. Remember, it's all about giving and receiving pleasure. Yes. So we have 10 things that you need to do. We're going through them. Number 1, remember, if you want to learn more, know more, you have to join us in the Sex is Everything Date Night webinar. Okay. You have to be there. Join us for that. Okay. So number 1 is
mutual consent.
Mutual consent. Yes. Okay. So number 1 is mutual consent. Both of you have to agree that it is something that you want to do. Number 2,
honesty. So you need to make sure you open up to your partner and be honest about it.
Yes.
In terms of, are you happy with it? Are you not happy? What do you like? What do you dislike?
Yes. And don't shy away from telling them what you want and then go ahead and tell somebody else. Your spouse needs to be the one to know. So number 3, you
want to communicate your needs.
Okay.
So what are your needs? Are your needs being met? Are you being fulfilled? Are you being pleasured? So communicate your need. That's very important.
Yes, communicate your needs to your partner. And both of you should be doing this. Number 4.
No pressure or force.
Yes.
You don't want to be forced into anything. You don't want to be pressured.
Yeah. So it shouldn't be that. So your spouse you shouldn't as a spouse force your spouse to do it, and they shouldn't feel pressured that, oh, you have to do this, and it's so totally against what they believe in or what they feel or what they're comfortable with. So you have to gauge all of that and don't make it a matter of force, because then it's not going to be pleasurable. Okay.
Number 5, you want to be flexible.
Yes, be flexible, and not just flexible with those moving those body parts and moving into those positions, but flexible in being able to decide, you know what? Okay, we'll try this then, and just not being rigid and saying, this is it. This is the only position we're doing. This is the only toy we're using, or we're not using any, and let's leave it in as that. Be flexible. Be willing to kind of just want to try new things. Okay. And number 6.
You want to set boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
How far will you go?
Mm-hmm.
What is the limit?
Yeah. So you need to have that safe word, and you let you know that nope, this isn't it. Even when you are actually using the sex toy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you need to have that. You say, know what is the limit?
Yes.
Yeah. That toy, maybe no. Yeah. No. Okay. Okay. Number 7.
Non-judgmental attitude and environment.
Mm-hmm. So you create that in your relationship, that environment where your spouse could come to you and say things, and you don't shove them aside, make them feel bad or dirty because they want to try certain things. Just be open, and you can, speak candidly, and, don't make them feel dirty, and speak to them and let them know what you are comfortable with, but have that non-judgmental attitude. And then for the person who, so the person who doesn't want to do it or think that it's, taboo, you need to be non-judgmental. And then the person who wants to do it also have to understand their spouse as well. Yeah. Okay? Wants to include, on deciding whether or not to include certain sex toys in your marriage bed. And then number 8.
Openness. That's important.
Yes, openness.
Just make sure you're open.
Mm-hmm. Let yourself be vulnerable. Just talk to your spouse and just let them know. Don't keep things bottle inside and not share. Be open. And number 9.
Decide on what you will try beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, no, maybe.
So it's like having a list. Okay. Yeah. So you decide, okay, this toy. Okay. Yes, definitely yes. This other toy. Definitely no. We're not trying that one. No. And then you have the maybe. Yeah, I'll probably try this sex toy. Okay, so other sex toys would be, things that people might think is really out of there, where you get those penis, rings, and then you have the stuff for the ladies, clitoris enhancers and vibrators and all of these different things. So have your list and you decide, yes, no, maybe. Yeah. Or maybe just on a Valentine's night. Or whatever. So, but you have to decide. You have to communicate. You have to be honest with each other and decide if that sex toy will be something that will, whether or not you'll use it to enhance your pleasure. Mm-hmm. And then number 10. I think I love number 10. Yeah. This is like the final one for everything, right? Number 10.
So you want to be creative with or without enhancers and have fun.
F-U-N. Yes, have fun. Fun. Yeah. Because it's all about, not being that boring, not being boring. It's about bringing that spice and excitement into your bedroom. So yes, you need to have fun, be creative with or without your enhancers. And you must remember, of course, it all depends on you too. Okay, so every couple is unique. We've been saying that for over 2 years now, right? Every couple is unique. So that means that something that Vito and I might try may not be something that you and your spouse may try, or another couple may try. So it is all so lovely because guess what? You get to try it in the privacy of your bedroom and no one has to know about it. Okay, the only thing we ask is that you two talk and communicate and share and decide whether or not that will be a part of your experience. You have the ball in your court. Yes. That's what you say, right? The ball in your court? Yes.
Yeah. You have the ball in your hand.
Yes, you have the ball in your hand.
So you have to decide whether you're going to shoot it or you're going to pass it.
Oh, okay, right? Hello, Alpha Nick. Thanks for joining us. Hello. Alice Chronicles. Yes. So she almost missed out this. Hello, Monique. Good to see you. Nakia and Julie. Yes. So you have to decide whether or not in your unique space as husband and wife, which you're going to use, and no one else has to know about it. Yeah. And it's just so discreet now, where you can go into shops, and if you don't even want to go into shops, you can order online and discreetly do that. And you have you have companies that are for those persons who don't want to see all the nudity associated with your actual sex toy. You have companies that take away the nudity and just have the actual item when they're displaying it. So you have a range of options as it relates to where you get these certain items.
Yes.
I know one item we talked about in our How to Strengthen Your Marriage Facebook group. Yes, you can go there and join, but definitely something we would go into more detail into in the Unique Couples Marriage Club, right? So in the Unique Couples Marriage Club, that's our private club. We are in there daily, and we have lives. Manage Your Marriage Mondays with Vito and Linda on Mondays. Okay, and we do daily trips of love. So anyway, one item was, and we had a question about that, like, what do you do? And that was the one you put on the bed. Yeah, the one that you put on the bed, so you don't mess up the sheets. Yes, and they actually do have an item that you can use and put on the bed, so you don't mess up the sheets, and you just take that off. Yes, so you get to learn a lot of things you can use, but guess what? Exploring it together makes it beautiful.
Yes.
So you and your spouse going and deciding to choose together, if you're to do that, or if you're going to surprise each other, but don't just pop that out and say, ooh, let's try this.
No.
Have the conversation first.
Exactly.
Because you don't want to be, you don't want to be
communication is very important. So you got to have the conversation. And like we said earlier, sex toy is a pleasure enhancement. It's not a sexual partner replacement.
Yes. So you're not replacing
your partner.
Your partner.
Definitely you're just enhancing your sex life.
And remember what we said about that myth? Yes. We have to dispel that myth that, hey, you need a sex toy because your partner is not performing well in the bedroom. Okay? That is not what the sex enhancers or toys or marital aids is saying. Okay? Yeah. So if you are going to toy, have that conversation with your spouse.
Very important.
If you're not going to toy, still have that conversation with your spouse. Make sure that you both mutually consent, or you both decide that, hey, it is not for us. Okay? Make sure you both decide on whether or not it is something that you want to do, if it's something for you, so that you can definitely enhance your relationship. And guess what? It's not the only way. Okay, so sex toys can add to it, but then you also need to have those date nights. You also need to have those times when you go and do those showers together, or all of these different things that you can do together to increase not only the sexual encounter, but also intimacy in your relationship. Okay, yes. So we actually have a date night coming up.
Yes, we have a date night on September the 27th, Monday, September 27th. Sparks Explosion.
Yes.
So September is a hot month. So you want to be there for Sparks Explosion.
Yeah. So go ahead and join that. You will also have access to the Unique Couples Marriage Club for the month of September. Go ahead and join. Register to be a part of that Sparks Explosion date night. And don't forget our webinar, Sex is Everything, and that will be happening October
the
4th. Okay,
yes.
October 4th. You want to be a part of that conversation, that experience, as we talk about everything sex and more, because sex in marriage is beautiful.
Yes,
it is beautiful. So sex toys can enhance a relationship or lead to conflict. That depends on the couple. So are you going to use them to enhance your relationship, or is it going to cause conflict? And if it's going to cause conflict, then it probably will not be a part of your relationship. And you could decide on that scale. Rewatch this video and learn, if you missed it, and go and see some of the different categories of sex toys. And if you want to know about some of the sex conflict, make sure you join us in the Unique Couples Marriage Club. We are talking about sex conflict. Yes, sex conflict next week, daily in the Unique Couples Marriage Club. Go ahead and join. It is marriage motivation, inspiration, and transformation, where you get more. We take you on a journey for more intimacy, more excitement, passion, communication, making your spouse your best friend, just increasing all of that. And of course, fun and date night. So be a part of the Unique Couples Marriage Club. Join us next week for sex conflict. And if you can't make the 7 a.m. lives conversation in the group, you can always watch the replay. So Join the Unique Couples Marriage Club today. The link is in the description. And we will see you at the Sex is Everything webinar as well. So
Yes.
get registered. To toy or not to toy? That is the question.
Yes.
Yeah. So go and decide tonight and maybe use a sex toy or two or not.
We had fun sharing with you. Want you to have a great night and enjoy the rest of the week.
Mm-hmm.
We are Vito and Linda Patrick of Unique Couples. Here at Unique Couples, we are building stronger couples, healthier marriages, and happier families.
Oh, yes.
We love you all. See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.